Hi guys, so tonight I am making beef and broccoli. I have in my rice cooker right now 1 cup of brown rice cooking. So for the ingredients for beef and broccoli, you're going to need some salt, some cornstarch, some vegetable oil, 1 cup of chicken broth, and I have the 99% fat-free, no MSG, light soy sauce, some garlic, some ginger. I have broccoli here, but it's not enough, so I also have some just broccoli cuts that I had in the freezer, so I'm going to mix both of those. Red pepper flakes, and this is our stew meat. You can use stir-fry meat, but this was cheaper. So, what I have done first is I put 2 tablespoons of the cornstarch in there with 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then I'm going to get my meat in there and I'm going to coat it really well and I'm going to let it sit there for about 5 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and I will be right back. Okay, so in my pan here, my beef stew was in the cornstarch for about 5 minutes and I have just 1 tablespoon of canola oil in there, so that's cooking up. Now what I'm going to do is I have a bowl here and I'm going to add 1/4 cup of soy sauce, low sodium. To that I'm going to add 1/2 cup of chicken stock. This is a 1 cup. I'm just going to use half of it. Looks about right. And then I'm going to add 1/2 tablespoon of cornstarch. This is the sauce that we are going to put on it once our chicken and veggies and all that is done cooking. Cornstarch is going to make the sauce thicken up once it gets in that hot pan. So I'm just going to stir this and set it to the side. So once my meat is all cooked, I will show you guys the next step in just a second. Okay, so my meat is all done cooking. So it's kind of loud, I apologize. I'm just going to put it in this bowl here. And I'm going to stick that in the microwave to keep it warm. So what I'm going to do is I turn my stove down to low and I have 1/2 cup of chicken broth. So I'm just going to put that in there. And then just kind of scrape the edges of the pan to get any of the extra flavoring and stuff from the meat. Now to this, I'm going to add my broccoli, the fresh and the frozen. And then I'm going to add a little bit of garlic. And some ginger. I keep my ginger in the freezer. It lasts for a really long time. So I just got a little grater. So I'm just going to grate, I don't know, maybe a teaspoon. I could have grated this in here, but the recipe I have wants me to grate it in that. So, and then I'm also going to add just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of red pepper flakes. It doesn't look like a lot, but it does a lot. Okay, so I'm just going to stir this a little bit. And then I'm going to get the lid on it. And once that's done cooking, I'll show you what to do next. So my broccoli is nice and cooked, and pretty much all the liquid in the bottom of the pan is gone. So I have my mixture of cornstarch, chicken stock, and soy sauce. So I'm just going to dump this in there. Now, it's going to cook for about a minute or so, and it should thicken up. That cornstarch should make it thicken up pretty well. But I've never made this before, so I'm hoping that it actually works. So my pan is on high to get this boiling pretty fast. So once this gets a little bit thicker, I'm going to add the rest of my meat and stir it all together, and then I will show you what it looks like at the very end. So this is what it looks like when it is all finished. This is going to serve 4 servings. and for one serving it is 5 points. And this recipe I actually found on the Weight Watchers app. I just typed in, when I went to go track something, I typed in beef and broccoli and then it came up with a recipe. So that's where I found the recipe. It's called beef and broccoli stir fry. So I'm going to have about a cup or so of that. And then I have a cup of rice, brown rice right there, which is 5 points for 1 cup of cooked brown rice. So tonight's dinner total is 10 points. I would have liked to put a little bit more broccoli in there. It cooks down quite a bit once you cook it, but I'm going to make sure I get enough on my plate. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you try it, let me know how it turns out. Have a good night, guys.